So a lawyer for 2 of the 13 Turpin children says that what they faced in foster care was worse than the abuse from their parents.
All new episodes of Forensic Files 2, Sunday at 10 on HLN.
A lawyer for 2 of the 13 Turpin children alleges that employees of the foster care agency who handled their case should be criminally charged. The children were rescued, you might remember, after years of horrific abuse at the hands of their parents, but then they allegedly faced more abuse at their foster home.
Can you imagine being chained to a bed nearly half or your entire life, never getting to see the outside or interact with other individuals, then being freed and placed in a home like this where there's physical, sexual, and horrific emotional abuse?
The parents, David and Louise Turpin, were sentenced to 25 years to life in prison after pleading guilty to multiple charges of torture and abuse. But HLN trial correspondent Jane Casares spoke with the attorney for the 2 children who are now suing. And Jean has more on that conversation. Good morning.
You know, Robin, last week I was with you and I was telling you about this civil suit that had been filed against the foster parents because of the horrific allegations of this abuse. We know so much more now. Late yesterday, I sat down with the attorney that is representing some of the siblings, and what he told me was nothing less than absolutely shocking.
In talking to my clients, they indicate that the abuse that happened in this foster home was in some ways worse than the abuse that they had endured their whole life. One of the gentlemen that has been charged and that was named as Mr. O would consistently and constantly touch these young girls, make comments to these young girls, and act in a sexual way with all of these girls that were minors at the time. The emotional abuse in that house ranged from comments like, "Nobody will ever love you," "You should kill yourself." They would force them to eat their own throw up. It was just a constant of emotional abuse in this home that these children had to endure.
Now, the question is, how could this happen? Did ChildNet, who was the nonprofit social service agency that put the children in this home, did they know anything? Take a listen. So how broad is this?
So through our investigation, before we filed this lawsuit, we were able to interview a number of former ChildNet employees. And that gave us insight as to what they were aware of what was going on in this horrific house. We believe it went all the way up to the top of ChildNet, and we also believe it extends even further to the county of Riverside for their failure to look to see what was going on with these different companies that they had contracted with.
But in your belief, should there be criminal charges here of the employees that had knowledge with willful intentional behavior?
If you're asking me if I think that certain employees at ChildNet should be held liable for their criminal conduct, the answer is an astounding yes.
Now, we do have a response from ChildNet. We want to put that up on the screen. We do want to show everyone what they said. At this time, ChildNet is not at liberty to disclose facts or discuss the allegations made in the complaint. And they go on to say, we have a strong track record of providing excellent care and continue to demonstrate our commitment to these children. And Robin, this may be the tip of the iceberg, because the attorney also tells me that this foster family has been in the system for a while and has fostered many other children, and he has actually spoken with some of them also.
At least tell me that they don't have any children in their care right now.
Well, he has told me that there are criminal charges that have been filed against them. We are working, HLN is working along with CNN to get those actual documents, and we'll have more when we get those updates.
Forensic Files is back with all new episodes when clues are few
There was really very little evidence to point in any direction.
It's up to forensics.
I'm finding mink hairs. You're trying to use these bits of evidence to help you figure out where it happened.
This one little bone will tell me that there was significant pressure applied to the neck.
To find these killers.
There was nothing we weren't going to do to ensure justice.
All new episodes of Forensic Files 2, Sunday at 10 on HLN.
If a lawsuit proves to be damaging, then could it be powerful enough to shut down that particular foster care agency?
You know, I think we haven't even begun what the ramifications of all of this could be. And I mean, when you look at a foster parent situation, I mean, what a wonderful thing, because children that go into that home need love, they need care, and it's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy to become a foster parent. You go through a lot. I want you to listen to a portion of my interview with the attorney that is representing Turbin family siblings. How did they become foster parents?
ChildNet has to look into the background of the individuals. They have to train the individuals, and then they have to certify the foster family in order to place children in there. The ages of these children when they were placed in this home was anywhere between 2 or 3 years old to 17 years old. And I can tell you that we have reports, and through our own investigation and what we've learned from our clients, that they spoke up in this instance also, and many times they were shut down. They weren't listened to. They were hushed.
So he is alleging that the children actually told the agency that had placed them with that family what was going on, and they were shut down. Well, Robin, we have gotten now the criminal complaints of this foster family. Yes, they have been criminally charged with serious felonies. I just want to show you what they lewd and lascivious contact upon the body of Jane Doe. This would be charges, and there's 7 of them against the father of the foster family. Cruel and inhumane corporal punishment. Willfully, I want to read this whole thing, likely to produce great bodily harm and death. Permitted Jane Doe to suffer unjustifiable physical pain and mental suffering, violating the personal liberty and dissuading them from testifying at a court proceeding. Now, this foster family has pleaded not guilty. They are denying all of these accusations. They have a right to have their fair and impartial trial, but these are very serious felonies that they are now charged with.
Now, could the county also be held accountable for the way the children were allegedly treated?
Well, I asked the attorney that because, remember, the county said, oh, we just need more money into the program, we need more people. But I posed to him, you could have 2 people in that division, and it's their decisions of who to place them with. And he agreed with me, and he believes the county really has a responsibility here. And, you know, many times you cannot sue, right, the sovereign because they're a governmental agency. So we'll see where that goes. There have been exceptions to that. But this could be, as I said, the brink of the iceberg, because he said this family had many children in their home. And this criminal complaint, it's 9 victims right here, 9 victims. And there were 6 Turpin family members inside that home.
Jane Casares with those new details. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
She had been trying to get away from her attacker and fought for her life out there.
Someone that can commit the crimes that he committed is evil.
We had to prove what happened and who did it.
It really is totally made by forensic evidence.
Very bloody, very gruesome crime scene.
I was shocked. Didn't know that this technology existed.
There's always material to be found. Someone always leaves something.
They knew the clock was ticking.
DNA that is deposited when someone handles an item. You really have to look at everything.
A whole different type of autopsy.
Suspicious for an injection site.
Victim wrapped in a blanket.
Hair and fiber evidence.
Carpet fiber.
Enables us to see things with sound.
Cell phone location during the murder
There was nothing we weren't going to do to ensure justice.